Hey good people, so I already got a huge video covering all of the ability changes coming to the final shape. It's crazy information you want to catch. I'm going to pin it to the comments below. Make sure you check that out after this video, okay? But this one is all about armor changes coming in the final shape, so let's get right up into it. Alright, so they gotta do some subclass matching. They gotta make it a priority. Why? Because of the prismatic subclass, they need to change a lot of things, especially with exotics, so that it works with the specific super you pick and not the subclass. Does that make sense? Alright, for example, the Titan exotic Hoarfrost Z will require just the stasis super to be equipped versus the full stasis subclass for it to work. Makes more sense, right? They're also going to update the harmonic mods to better explain their behavior and the support strand on resistance mods. And now let's specifically get into our classes, okay? So for Hunter, the Triton Vice, this is how they're going to change it. Glaive projectile final blows will always trigger a detonation that matches the glaive's damage type, even when the glaive does not match the equipped subclass. And the surrounded effect provided by Triton Vice while wielding a glaive is going to stick around for 5 seconds even after you're not surrounded anymore. Moving on to Dragon's Shadow, people. Alright, so Dragon's Shadow has been updated to trigger its effects when you use Ensnaring Slam or the new Ascension Arc aspect. And now let's get into Foe Tracer. Foe Tracer now grants the bonus damage it inflicts on a target to weapons. The damage type also matches that of the ability used to damage that target instead of always matching your equipped subclass. With Prismatic, you can apply a variety of different damage elements with your abilities, and this change allows Foe Tracer to buff multiple different weapon damage types, instead of just one that matches your subclass or super element. Alright, so now let's move on to the 6th Coyote. They're going to add an additional benefit, and this is also going to the armamentarium for Titans. So Titans, you could listen up too, okay? Alright, so they added the ability for 6th Coyote to create orbs of power from final blows after using your class ability. They say that they're going to implement this as the exotic granting a free copy of the Reaper Armor mod's effects. So they're just putting the Reaper Armor mod onto the exotic. Alright, Renewal Grass have been updated because Frost Armor is a thing. If you don't know what Frost Armor is, you definitely need to catch my ability video, alright? So on entering your Dustfield Grenade value, you or allies gain a stack of Frost Armor, and then about every 0.9 seconds, an additional stack of Frost Armor is going to be given to you, and it's going to reset your timer. Alright, now I know a lot of y'all are going to want to hear this one. For Star Eater Scales, okay? It's going to increase the orbs of power required to grant maximum benefits from 4 to 6. You're going to need 6 orbs to get max damage boost. Okay, and then they reduce the increased super energy gained per orb of power when the golden gun is equipped from 2% down to 0.5%. So a nerf. They're nerfing Star Eaters. That's just what it is. Alright, Titans. For my Titans out there, Ursa Furiosa is now going to provide increased movement speed while guarding with Unbreakable. And then it also grants super energy for guarding with Unbreakable. This energy scales based on the amount of incoming damage the shield absorbs. Now, Eternal Warrior Helmet. Alright, so no longer requires an arc subclass for arc final blows to grant its escalating arc weapon damage bonus. Its behavior related to Fists of Havoc is not changing. Now the Armamentarium. Alright, so Armamentarium was updated with an additional benefit beyond granting a second grenade charge. It now creates orbs of power from grenade kills. They're going to implement this by giving you a free copy of the Firepower Armor mod right on the exotic, basically. And now Kepri's Horn. They're going to increase the damage from the Solar Blast by 100% in PvE. And the Solar Blast now scorches each time it hits a target instead of scorching only once. And then Capri's Horn now benefits from Ember of Eruption and Ember of Ashes, giving it plus 30 scorch in PvE and plus 15 scorch in PvP. So that's a big buff right there. We gotta be honest. That's a decent buff. Okay, Heart of Inmost Light. They're not really making any changes to the effects of it. What they're changing is how the info is going to be displayed on your HUD, because it was just a lot. So they're just consolidating that. And then Synthoceps. Of course, you know they were coming for them Synthos, y'all. So they're going to reduce the amount of time that bionic enhancements lingers after no longer being surrounded from 8 to 5 seconds. This duration is now visible as a timer on the buff. So it's almost half the uptime of your effects. And then for Severance Enclosure, this one's a little interesting. So for Severance Enclosure, they said it was too noisy, and to combat this, they saying, pay attention, its explosions now require line of sight to damage enemies. So if you're not looking at the enemy, your explosions won't do any damage. Like, I don't know why that just, I don't know. Okay, we also reduced the knockback intensity of these explosions, which will now launch enemies more consistently into the air. I'm sure they had a good reason for doing it, but okay, like it's just weird, all right? Is it weird? Am I tripping or is it weird? Okay, now Warlocks. Let's get into Warlocks. For your Mantle of Battle Harmony, is now going to grant super energy ranging from plus 1.5 to 4.5%, depending on the target type kill. And they're going to remove the 2-second cooldown for the perk's activation. So Mantle of Battle Harmony, buff. Alright, Ballador's Wrath Weavers. Activating your Rift grants you and nearby allies the maximum Frost armor stacks when Frost Pulse is equipped. And then activating your Winter's Wrath Shatter attack grants nearby allies the maximum amount of stacks of Frost armor. And when your Winter's Wrath ends, you gain maximum stacks of Frost armor. So that's a buff. And then Second Filaments. So your Empowering Rift will now reset a player's existing Devour buff back to 11 full seconds when they enter it, in addition to its previous behavior, so buff for Second Filaments. Now Verity's Brow is now going to require final blows with a weapon matching your grenade's damage type instead of one matching your equipped subclass. And then Sun Braces. They're going to reduce, yeah, you know what's coming, y'all. Reduce, I said it, they're nerfing Sun Braces. Okay, so they're reducing the increased solar grenade duration from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. And they're going to reduce its increased grenade recharge rate to allow a max of only 4 grenades while its effect is active, down from 5. So your grenades are going to last half the time, and you can throw 1 less grenade. I'm just going to move on. Alright, Cenotaph Mask. Cenotaph Mask, you know the boat, the one that looks like an island on the Warlock's head, the one that looks like a Idaho potato, I don't know what else, but that helmet. Multiple players using Cenotaph Mask can no longer trigger its effect using a single enemy target, because they were getting a lot of heavy ammo to drop by targeting one enemy before. And now Cenotaph's target lock visual marker is going to be hidden from the person using it, and it's only going to appear for the other people. So don't be surprised when you're like, yo, why I don't see the thing? Don't worry. Everybody else should be seeing it. Okay. Now, powered melee and armor effects. So just to let you know, they're updating Severance Enclosure and Assassin's Cowl to only trigger the effects when a player spends a melee charge, or uses a finisher to get a final blow. So to condense these two paragraphs for you, they're trying to make all the exotics and other effects that trigger from a regular melee hit to now only trigger from a charged melee, you know? So they're starting with Severance Enclosure and Assassin's Cowl, and they said they're gonna eventually get to everything else. So just be wary of that, coach. Now, exotic artifice armor upgrades. This was huge, and I thought this was actually dope, okay? Listen. Exotic armor can now be upgraded after it has been fully masterworked, granting an artifice mod slot. +3 for more stats on your builds from an exotic. Thank you. Okay, this is good news. This comes at the cost of an exotic cipher and 10k glimmer. Alright, what do y'all think about that? Alright, ammo finder update. In the final shape, we wanted to make ammo finders more predictable for all players across all activities, so heavy and special ammo finder mods will persist their progress towards an ammo brick through death. Alright, if this is not making sense to you, let me try to explain it real quick. So the way they have designed ammo finder bricks of ammo to drop is based on a certain number of enemies you kill, right? And for the people with really bad RNG, because I know you've been through, man, I've been through GMs and stuff where it's like, not one freaking heavy is dropping. You know that feeling. I know you know that feeling. So what was happening is you would die before you met that requirement of killing certain enemies, a certain number of enemies, to drop the brick. So when that happened, it would reset your number back down to 0. And when you respawn, you start at 0 and you have to go again. So if you died again before you would hit the next one, then again you wouldn't get a brick, reset back to 0, so on and so forth. So that's why they're doing this. So they say because of this change, we have disabled ammo finder mods in Crucible, and player kills will no longer grant ammo finder progress in Gambit. We also found this change dramatically increased the amount of ammo players will receive on average. So we have increased the kill requirements for both special and heavy ammo finders by 20% for Guardians in a fire team. But for solo Guardians, there's going to be no changes right there. Okay, I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. Kind of. We'll have to see. Because sometimes it's really bad. So I'm not 100% sold on that, but we'll see. Alright, and then raid armor mods. So with the release of the final shape, they're making it much easier to use your raid armor mods because they just want it to be used. So they're going to remove the energy cost from raid specific armor mods. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing right there, y'all. Okay, that is all of the armor changes they have right now, y'all. If you're new and this helps in keeping you up to date, please subscribe, drop a like, hit the bell, and please in the comments, y'all, tell me what you think. And I have been going dumb crazy with the videos this week, so please support, please support, please support. All right, with likes and comments. I have every single 0-hour guide out there waiting for y'all right now. I got Archie. You need to find Archie stuff. Go get him. Please check out that ability. It's a huge ability video like this. I'm telling you, you're gonna want to know what ability changes are happening in the final shape. All right, check out that video. It's gonna be in the comments. All right, so thank you for the support to those who support, and I'm out.